Hey guys, so pretty short video today. I wanted to talk about storing your camping gear. So, in my opinion, it's a pretty important topic. And I'm one of those people that really doesn't believe in pre-packing your pack and just kind of have it sitting there. I think it's a really good idea when you get back from the trip, unpack everything, wash it, clean it, check it over for damage, replace batteries, whatever it is you need to do. And then store it somewhere separately. And once you've kind of put it into storage, you know that you can take it straight out of storage and it's ready to go, rather than just having it lying around and you don't really know what kind of status it's in, whether it's been checked, whether it's there's been any damage and things have been replaced, etc. So let me show you kind of my setup. So first and foremost, I really think that storing gear the way the manufacturer recommends to store it is pretty important. And I think there's two big items there. Number one, like down products. So if you take a look over here, that's my down sleeping bag. It's hanging, staying lofty. Same thing with my down jacket. Now the thing with down is that when you compress it, all the down starts to bunch up and clump up. And the way down works is it takes the heat from your body and it kind of traps it. And if there's little clumps of the down, and then it won't trap the heat evenly and you'll have cold spots and yada yada yada. So same thing kind of with tents. I mean, my one person tent is really my better quality tent, and I try and really look after it. I've got an older 2-person tent. You'll see in there it's packed up in its original packaging, it's stuff sack. But my 1-person tent, I try and leave it out of the stuff sack. The thing with that is the tent material, because they're so light, they're quite thin. And if you think like a piece of paper, if you keep it creased, or especially you fold it down the same crease, and you keep that crease, eventually it kind of weakens along that crease. So same thing kind of with tents. They're so thin that I try and keep it not all bunched up, not all folded down the same way, etc. when I'm storing it, because it's going to be stored for a couple of up to a few weeks at a time. So it's not so good for it, I think. But anyway, let me show you my storage. This is kind of my prime storage. Now, I've been camping and hiking for a while, and I've got spares and bits and pieces, and a lot of that stuff lives outside in the garage. What lives in here is equipment that I use from trip to trip, and once I put it in here, I know that it's good to go. It's been cleaned, it's been checked. Like I said before, I can pretty much pick it up and I can take it out. Now, we live in quite a small place, so this is, it keeps everything in one spot, and I can kind of shove it off to the side, put it up against the wall, and it's convenient from that point of view as well. No particular order really, just smaller items up top, because it does get moved around. It shuffles around everywhere, so I'm not too fussed with how it's ordered or how it looks. As long as it's all kind of in the trunk, I'm pretty happy with it, because I kind of shuffle, go through my gear and have a look, and okay, here I've got 2 knives, depending what I'm doing. Okay, I'll take this knife, I'll have a look. Say around here, what do I want to find? Okay, whistle. Okay, I'll take the whistle. Whatever, doesn't matter too much. Okay, as long as it's in one spot. And again, I know that once it's made in this trunk, it's good to go. Let me take this top bit off, and I'll show you what's underneath. So this is pretty much the inside of the trunk. As you can see, there's plenty of room in there. There's that 2-person tent. It's as uncompressed as it can be, but again, I'm not too fussed about it. But because it's in there, I know it's good to go. So if I was to go camping with the wife, I know I can pick that tent up, all the pegs, all the tent poles, everything's in there, and I know it can be used straight away, and there's no problem. Same thing with anything else in here. I know it's all good to go, so that's really important. A few things that I'm missing in here: I do keep my pack in here, I'll keep my sleeping mat in here, and a few other bits and pieces. So this definitely does fill out a little bit more, but it's for me. And also in terms of gear for my wife, when we both go camping, definitely a trunk like this is more than big enough. Although she keeps her pack out of this trunk, there's not a problem there. Really, that's about it. Like I said, my spare gear lives in the garage, and I think I mentioned in this video, my spare gear lives in the garage in another similar kind of box. So if equipment needs to be borrowed, which it rarely does, you know, by my friends, what have you, when somebody new's coming along, I'll go down and grab it out of there. There's no need to keep, you know, 2 or 3 different cookers in there. It's a bit pointless. I have one which I use on every trip, and that's all it needs to be. Cool, thanks for watching. Hope it helped.